Welcome back to our second show. We hope you enjoyed our intro, kind of explaining. It was good. It only took us one time.
We should have maybe done more.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We've decided that we're going to start out each show kind of talking about maybe what we did over the weekend or what we saw that was really interesting on Facebook. And my thing I saw actually was I read an article that family vacations are a must. There's something that, you know, a woman asked her 18-year-old and her 22-year-old boys, you know, after they had, you know, kind of done everything with their parents and are kind of moving into that next stage in life. And she asked them, what do you remember most about your childhood? Like, what did I do right? What was like the best thing that you remember? And she said that both of them said our family vacations, things that we did together. It's kind of that bonding moment. And it's not family vacations with everybody else's families. It's family vacations with just you and your kids. And that's something that I remember. You know, I remember going in the station wagon to camp with the tents. Like, we didn't have campers or trailers. It was tents and Yellowstone with bears
when
and
I
stuff.
left Ashley at the rest stop?
Yeah, I actually do remember
drove
that.
60 miles until we realized, and a cop pulled us over and said,
And it's such a great story now. But like, it's something that I read, and I told my husband, I said, let's do this. Let's, you know, and what was great about the article actually gave you ideas. We'll go into that story more when Ashley's here.
Yeah, we should.
Because,
she remembers.
Yeah, we need her to give her side of the story. But I just feel like it can be anywhere. You can go to the city, just get a little hotel, get a tent, find a KOA, like just do something, and that's memorable for your children. So we went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I love Jackson Hole. If I could retire there, it's a really expensive place to live. You'd have to make a lot of money.
Yeah, whatever.
But it would just be the ideal place for me. I mean, there's just so many nice people. It's so fun. All the shops are great, and then you have all that great skiing. But one other thing that Jackson Hole is pretty infamous for are family pictures of you dressed up in Western wear.
Yes.
And for some of us, you can also be, a little colonial woman or whatever you want to be. But what's cool is he has a bunch of pictures that you can go through, and they have names like, you know, there was one that was like Stella, or one that's like, you know, Jane, or, you know, the poker man or whatever. And so,
or the bar whore.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually, let me tell you how I picked out my dress. I picked it out knowing that I had to cover my shoulders. Like,
why is that?
Because I didn't want to take off anything I didn't have to take off.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
So
like,
it's convenient.
Other people, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to like keep on a tank top or something, because there's thousands of people who put on these clothes, and I'm a little bit weird about stuff like that. Yeah.
I thought you were worried about modesty.
Oh no, I don't care about modesty.
Obviously, no.
No, I absolutely do not. And this is something that will be posted in Everett and Berlin's yearbooks, you know, just to show all of the kids how beautiful their mom was. Yeah. No, Everett and Berlin look really cute. But this was a family memory. So fun.
Picture.
If you're near Jackson Hole, or you've never been there, or it's somewhere that you've wanted to ski or do something, it's actually a really great city. But it's also fun to do things like this, because it was pretty fun. Everett had a blast with those little toy guns and things like that. So,
well, my weekend was not quite as special. I actually dug out the dead weeds out of my garden.
Oh,
because it's time. It's Brenda's time of year. Yeah, spring comes around and I get really happy because I get to plant things and dig in the dirt, and that's what I did.
You need to explain how large your garden is, because I don't think, people think of like a little garden. And yours is like a garden of gardens.
It's a good garden. And it's a fun garden, and I have a lot of stuff going on there.
You do.
And so I did. I dug up all the dead weeds and stuff, and then Dave rototilled everything, and so it's looking
it's nice. Ready. I saw it in your spare room that you had all the little seedlings.
I've got my little seedlings already going. It's April 9th, 10th, something like. Anyway, it's in April and I'm already growing stuff.
Yeah. So it's okay to be growing right now. This is the time that
I don't know if it is or not, but I thought on a kick. I went to Walmart, and you know they have like Christmas out in October. Well, they've got the growing stuff out in the middle of the winter, and so I bid on it, and there we go.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
the buyers of Walmart know probably when to start doing that stuff.
So hopefully I will have. But the problem is when you buy a packet of seeds, it's got like 500 seeds in it. You need 3.
Oh, why?
And so so I've got
because it's for farmers, or why would they put that many?
Put so many? I don't know. We need to ask them that, because there is no good reason why they should have that many seeds in these little packets, because no person that's going to Walmart.
So you'll only need one little seed, one little seedling to put in one little pouch when you're...
Think about it. That's the reason I wrote the Zucchini Houdini.
Oh.
Because I planted 12 zucchini plants when I only needed 1.
Oh, because it keeps growing.
I mean, you just get so many that it's ridiculous. And so, you know, when you've got all this land and you've got all this rows that are all hoed and everything, you just keep planting, and so you think it's going to be all good, and then you end up with 2,500 zucchini, and so
yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
okay, so let's talk a little bit at the Zucchini Houdini.
Yes, this is one of in fact, this was my first book that I had published. It's called the Zucchini Houdini, and it's all zucchini recipes, basically, because I did grow too many zucchinis. But this book, as well as my other cookbooks. My novels are published by other companies, but my cookbooks are published by a company in Utah called Cedar Fort. And they had their author appreciation dinner last week, and I went to it, took my parents. My husband was on call, so he couldn't go, so I took my parents to it. And during this author appreciation dinner, one of the speakers was a Cedar Fort author, quote unquote, because actually what he does is makes movies. And so it wasn't a book that he did, but actually a movie, and it's called The Saratov Approach. And it's the first movie that Cedar Fort has actually distributed, and it's done really well. And he talked to us about his whole process of trying to get people to sponsor the movie and go through the whole thing, and it was so fascinating. And he was just a really good speaker, but also the movie, he gave us all copies of it, and I went home and watched it, and it was really good. I really liked it. And it's an LDS Mormon-themed movie, but it was really good. I'm not saying that Mormon-themed movies aren't good, but this one wasn't so that you felt like you were trying to be recruited to the Mormon church. It was one that was just interesting because it was about these 2 Mormon missionaries that were kidnapped in Russia and their whole experience, and just very well done. I was inspired because I thought, wow, you know, hearing him speak, you knew that he was just this up-and-coming guy that really didn't have a lot of professional backing and all that, and he did a great job.
That's cool.
Very, very good.
I always wonder about that, the industry, just because they have, you know, the film festivals, and then they have the motion pictures, and they have different things at so many different levels. It's interesting to see, you know.
I was just
there's so many good stories out there. So
his name's Garrett Batty, and he was such a good speaker. He just had the right amount of humor and humbleness, but he was so good, and so I just really enjoyed it. It was fun.
That's cool. I'm excited to see it.
Go out and see it. Tell us what you think about it. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, and then people can get that on Amazon. Is that right? Or can they buy it?
Order it. Yes, you bet. In fact, it's still showing in theaters in several places around the country, so you may want to check that out. It'd be nice on the big screen, but also you can get the DVD through a number of different places on the web. So it's called The Saratov Approach, and so check it out because we'd love to hear what you think about it.
And this is kind of funny, but since we've been talking about our show, it's a show. My daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, has started, she actually started this before our show, so I may have gotten the idea from her to have a show. Maybe.
It doesn't surprise me because she...
Maybe I stole her idea, actually. Because she has probably 100 YouTube videos. Not YouTube. iPhone, iPad videos. So she makes how-to videos. And they're very good. They're very, very good. She'll teach you how to do things. But she approached me and said, can I be on your show? Like wanting to sit here and be on the show. And I think it's a great idea. But I don't know how well she would do. And it's kind of weird.
She's darling.
Yeah.
However
she sits. So I told her, honey, you can make some how-to videos and I'll put it in our show every once in a while. So you all have a special treat. You get to learn how to play soccer. So here it goes.
Hi, this is all about soccer. And I got this picture. This is me from soccer. My teacher's name is Crystal. And this is her little boy. That's her little boy, and that's the soccer ball. And if you don't know how to play soccer, this is a ball. Well, not like fluffy ones like that. You need hard ones. And you have soccer shoes, soccer everything. And then you just, not with your hands. You're not supposed to grab it with your hands. You're supposed to kick the ball. Okay, you're supposed to kick the ball with your feet. See, like this. I got my feet on the grass. I got the feet on the grass. I just kick it.
It smells like perfume.
And then you, if you kick it in the goal, then you win. And that's
All right, so that's Berlin Erickson. She is a star in the making right there. She loves to do how-to videos, and she actually has 1,000 more. So I have a lot of footage to be able to use for our little segment, but I won't do it every time because that might get weird. If
Really, you think? I don't know. She's got such great nails.
Yeah,
though.
she does have great nails. And that's something that's really odd that I do is I let her buy those nails with the glue that you put on instead of the press-on nails. I've just found over the years that my girl is a girly girl, and sometimes it's easier just to buy the nails than to paint them. And sometimes it's easier just to glue them on because they stay on for 4 days. And I don't have to worry about her wearing. She thinks they're absolutely amazing, like you saw in that video. But it is weird. Like, I know her kindergarten teacher, and other people are probably like, why?
But it's a pick your battles. You pick your battles as a parent, because I can think of many other things that you wouldn't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, okay.
And you asked a good question, actually, about mothers and, you know, like
on my
staying with your
Facebook
kids.
page.
Which is kind of interesting because your mom actually stayed home. And so with the older generation, you would kind of think that that's...
And she was very adamant about that, and still feels that way. I think that she really is...
would still do it all over again, probably.
Absolutely. But yet, on the other hand, I think she's really proud of the work that I did in my career. And I think that a lot of kids, and I think you feel this way, they enjoyed having mom at home, but they were also proud of their mom when they had a career and were working hard.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
them. So it's a really interesting topic.
It is an interesting topic because I've actually talked to some of my coworkers about that, about, you know, am I doing something that my kids can look up to and be like, my mom did this, and she, you know, this is her story, because you have very interesting stories about your life and different things, and I'm just hoping that that's what happens. But on the other hand, there were so many of those comments that I definitely agreed with, that makes me second guess a little bit about what I'm doing and how much time. But
I must say, I loved having my mom at home. I loved having a stay-at-home mom. I always felt very secure in that and all that. So yeah, it is
it is a toss-up. I think it is kind of one of those things as a working mom where it is a little bit like this. I think one of the ideal jobs, though, are kind of like what's happening now, is with people like working from home and kind of being able to juggle both and have some of these. There's a lot more, and that's probably why it's spiking, is because people want to be home, but they also want to be working, and people want money. They want money to do things and to provide for their family and add to the income wherever it's coming from. So it makes sense.
Today we're going to make one of my favorite cookies, and in fact it's my husband's favorite cookie. I made this recipe using ingredients and recipes that I had used in the past. It's called my toffee chip cookies. They're very, very simple to make. First ingredient is just a box of dry yellow cake mix. Don't prepare the cake mix, just put the entire box of the dry mix into your mixer. Second ingredient is 1/3 cup of just regular cooking oil, vegetable oil. And then 3 eggs. And then the secret ingredient, which is our Heath chocolate covered toffee chips. These are what make it really, really good. So I've got them all in the mixer here, and I'm just gonna make sure that everything is combined together. If you want to come on over and take a look at this. You can see we've got all of our ingredients mixed together. Now if you don't have a stand mixer like this, that's okay. This just makes it so much easier. The dough is rather thick, and so it makes it nice when you've got a stand mixer that you don't have to sit there and use your muscles, but you certainly can do that. Now the other thing that I like is this little tool here. This is a cookie dough scoop. It's like an ice cream scoop, but it's for cookie dough. And it makes these perfect little shaped cookies. Put them on an ungreased cookie sheet, just like that. Approximately 1 inch to 2 inches apart. They don't spread too much. And then you're going to bake these at 350 degrees for approximately 10 minutes. Very important that you don't overbake these cookies. You want them to be a little soft when they come out. That way they'll be the best. So try these. Let me know what you think.
And look at how beautiful those are. See, you can take these, and they're beautiful. Yep. Good, good, good.
That's actually one of Michael's and my kids, actually. They love that recipe, and I love it because it's really, really easy. And
It is. It's amazing that Michael likes it because he hates sweets.
I know.
And so I feel
it's
like a real
probably
compliment
it's
there.
probably the
Yeah.
only thing that I really feel like he eats that is sweet. So it is different. But our next segment we're going to do is actually I'll either do weather or something with beauty and Rodan and Fields, the company I work for. So today is going to be more beauty. I've had a lot of people talking to me about this cool little roller that I'm selling.
And this is mine. I love it.
And I love it too. This is, it's all about exfoliation. We've talked a lot about, or we've heard a lot from the stars about what they've done, why Christy Brinkley looks amazing at 60.
And she's 60 years old.
60 years old.
Crazy.
And she said, really, and even Jennifer Aniston, it's exfoliation. It's regenerating those skin cells and getting rid of the old dead skin. And whether you're into anything, I mean, I'm not the person that is like, you need to do this, you have to. But if you've all of a sudden decided, you know, my skin needs help, start now. Start taking care of it now. And you don't have to do, you know, really expensive tools. You can just do different things
This
to
is so
maintain.
easy too. It just every night you just kind of roll it over your face. It's got these little, I don't want to say needles to scare anybody, but
But
they're
that's
just
exactly what it
itty-bitty
is.
Tiny little acupuncture type needles, and you don't. It's not painful, but you can tell it's working.
Yeah, it's funny. There's actually an Ellen DeGeneres segment of somebody wanting to do it to her face. So she grabs one of her camera guys because she's like, I'm not doing it. And the camera guy gets it and he's like, you know, he's like kind of freaking out because it's a weird feeling. It's almost like going very finely into those pores. But what it is it's really opening it up so the serum or whatever you're putting on afterwards just seeps right in and does what it's supposed to do.
It is.
And the big thing now is, you know, Botox and all those things, they're still big and people do them and it's fine and great. Like if you want to maintain that way, that's the way you can do it and you know, whatever. But the new thing now that I've seen on certain websites that have to do with estheticians and different things is they're trying to figure out more natural ways of plumping and making things better. And that's exactly what Rodan and Fields is doing too. So they're kind of ahead of the game there. But I think that's the new wave is to not do the Botox and kind of, you know, find different ways of doing
It reminds
this.
me of like, you know, when you tenderize meat.
Yeah,
You know,
that's probably
get the
exactly
marinade
what.
in there. It works.
Yeah,
And that's what
a
I
butcher
think when I'm
invented
doing
this.
that is like,
Yeah.
okay, tenderizing the meat. Here
Yeah,
and
but
I
it does
see
make
the
you
difference.
feel. It does make you feel better, and
I just love when I wake up in the morning. It's just like so soft and so good.
yeah,
So,
your skin
anyway,
is silky smooth.
I'm sold.
Yeah, I sold her on it. Now it's your turn. Just kidding. But we hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, we air every Thursday. We'll have a recipe for you, other videos, and then my other sister Ashley will be on every once in a while too. To
Some fun stuff.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Oh, I thought you were going to
Sorry.
say something.
I kind of was, but I didn't know what to say. The end.
The end.
The end. Cut. Cut.
Now the shadows run in time. I keep trying to run away from what you're saying.